Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick little video, almost like a shout out to Payoff Pitch Baseball. Discovering more and more why I like this game. I used to be strictly Stratomatic for the most part, but here in the last, since I've discovered Payoff Pitch Baseball, I've really incorporated that game into my rotation quite a bit. And one of the reasons why I like it so much is the fast action cards. I do like the dice for Stratomatic, but for Payoff Pitch, I enjoy the version of the fast action cards. And the great thing about Payoff Pitch is you can play it with dice if you want as well. It gives you that option. And I was curious one day, so I was wondering, are the fast action cards really as random as dice would be? And so I sat down and took all 108 fast action cards and did some tabulations on the 2d6 simulations, because the way things work with you roll dice, the odds of rolling a 7 are obviously much higher than rolling a 2 or a 12. So I wanted to see if in fact the fast action cards represented that. Since there are 108 cards and they are two-sided, that totals 216 possible results of the 2d6. And so I did some tabulations, and lo and behold, there was a perfect symmetry. There were 6 12s and 6 2s. There were 12 number 3s and 12 number 11s. There were 18 number 4s and 18 number 10s, 24 number 5s and 24 number 9s, 30 each of the 6 and 7, and 36 of the number 7. So when you start a game and you have all 108 cards here, that first flip is just as random as any dice roll you will ever have. Now granted, once you start using some of these cards, the percentages will change slightly, but not all that much given the amount of cards you have, which is why they suggest that you reshuffle the deck after 3 innings. And I'd almost go as far to say sometimes I'll do it after 2 innings if one of the innings, there's a lot of runs scored and I'm flipping a lot of cards. More so it's to see how many cards I have on this side of the equation versus this side of the equation. If I have a lot over here, I'll go ahead and reshuffle and flip them over and so forth. But I think the game does a wonderful job of capturing the randomness of dice just as well with these fast action cards. The other thing I like about the fast action cards obviously is about 90-something% of the time I don't have to check anything else but these cards. This will tell me all the runner advancement, it will tell me about the outs, it will tell me about the bunts, tell me about the steals and so forth, just based on this card without having to go to another chart. And I also want to show something else that I did to enhance at least my version of the game, and don't know if anybody else would think this is helpful or not, but I know sometimes when I'm watching YouTube videos I find things that people do to be very helpful, and so I thought I'd just throw that out there and see if anybody had any opinion about it. So let me get everything together and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, what I've done here is I've taken the starting lineups for the game I'm about to play, Baltimore and Boston from 1982, and I put these in baseball card sleeves. These are the old sleeves I used to have for my baseball cards, and I have a bunch of these sleeves, so I could certainly spare a couple. And what this allows me to do is put all 9 batters that are in the batting order right here in order, and that will also allow me to look at all the ratings throughout the game without having to either go to the score sheet or to, if I have the cards stacked, to have to unstack the cards to find it. So I've played a couple games with this and I found it to be very useful. Same with, and I've got the home team over here, Boston, got their 9 guys in the lineup. And then I took the bottom third of this, cut it out, and I have that for the ballpark card and the 2 starting pitchers. And I got this inspiration from watching videos on Hockey Blast, where I believe Steve Tower had gotten some business card holders to work the line changes a lot better than having to flip the cards. And I figured the baseball card holders will work just as well as the business card holders. And it turns out that they did. So I'm going to go ahead and just play a couple of innings just to show you how I work this with the card holders and how I enjoy doing it this way. And if it appeals to anybody, hey, you never know. Everybody's got their own way of playing. So let me get started here and we'll see what happens. Okay, typically the way I work this when I have it set up is I have the ballpark and pitcher card for the home team right here in the top of the first. I've got the visiting team batting order right here, so everything is right here in front of me. The first bat is Mike Torres will be facing Al Bumry, and I've got my fast action cards right here. So I'm going to try to capture as much as I can without having to pan so much. And if there's a fielding check for Boston, I've got my 9 guys right here to go check it out. So let's see how this works here. We got Torres against Bumry. And our fast action card, our very first flip, is a 4. So a 4 on Torres is tough. All right, we'll do the next flip. It's a 91. A 91 on Bumry is out of the range, under tough. So we go over here, and it's a ground ball to short. So Bumry is out 6-3, 1 away. And now that takes us over to Glenn Gulliver, third baseman. He will be the next one to bat. So we'll flip. It's a 10. 10 for Torres is patient, so we're looking under the patient category for Gulliver. The flip is a 15. Gulliver, right-hander, patient, 15 is a walk. So Gulliver will walk. There are now as a runner on first with 1 out for Ken Singleton, the number 3 hitter. So here's the flip. It's an 8, and 8 is patient for Torres. And the next flip's a 49, so Ken Singleton, patient 49 against a right-hander is another walk. So back-to-back walks. And there are now runners at first and second with only 1 out for Eddie Murray. So now I'm under Eddie Murray. And I know I'm moving the camera to pan here, but if you weren't taking a video, if you were just playing the game yourself, your eyes will naturally do that. So it's not any trouble for me to do that other than having to show it on camera. So here's the flip. Next flip is a 6. 6 is tough, so we're checking the tough category for Eddie Murray. And the next flip's a 79, so Murray, 79, tough is out of range. 79 is actually a fly ball to center field. So Murray flies out to center for out number 2. And that'll bring up John Lowenstein, the number 5 hitter. So we'll see what he does against Torres. It's a 12. Torres 12 is ballpark. Well, I've got the ballpark card right here in front of me. So we're going to see whether it's in play or whether we're doing a wheelhouse check. And for left-handed batters, 1 through 18 is the wheelhouse. It's a 25, so we're going to be in play on Lowenstein. And in play is a 0. Now, this is where I didn't, for the purposes of doing the video, I did not bring the charts with me. That's where we would be looking at the unusual play chart on this. So just for this instance, I'm going to skip that and go to our regular result, which is a 43. So 43. Tough, I believe it was tough, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, no, it was 43. It was patient. It was patient 43. My bad. See, the 0 just kind of threw me off when I had to switch there. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see here. No, it was in play 25. It was in play, wasn't it? It was in play. That's right, because we did a ballpark check. I'll get it straight in a minute. So Lowenstein in play 43 is out of range. 43 is a pop-up to second. I'm sorry about that, guys. I got a little confused when that 0 popped up. And like I said, if I was playing a real game, I would have the table out, and that would be the one time I would check it. Okay, so that ends the inning for Baltimore. And I am keeping score, so I know that Cal Ripken is going to be the next batter to start the second. But if I wasn't keeping score, I could take a little token or something and set it here to let me know he was next. So all I do now is slide them out of the way, bring on Boston, and now what I'll do is I'll move ever so slightly. I will move the pitchers over to the right of Boston because of the fact that McGregor's right here next to them. So I'll move my fast action cards right where I need them. So now we're all set and ready to go. And Jerry Remy will be the batter. Jerry Remy will start things off. So here we go against McGregor. Flips a 7. McGregor 7 is in play. And 75, Remy 75 is a fly out to center. So Remy flies out to center for out number 1. Next is Dwight Evans. Evans, a 9 is patient. 83, patient 83 is out of range. So that is a ground ball to short. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Jim Rice. It's an 8, which is in play, and it's a 19. In play 19 is a base hit. So Jim Rice got a 2-out base hit. That'll bring up Tony Pérez. Tony Pérez next, so I'll skip that. It's a 9. 9 on McGregor is patient. So patient, Tony Pérez is a 51. So Pérez against lefties, patient 51, just missed it. His singles only go up to 50. So 51, of course, is a ground ball to third base, and that is the final out of the inning. And the inning's over, no score after 1. So I know it may have looked a little bit cumbersome because I was having to pan the camera, but if you're playing the game without having to do all this panning, you're just playing it, or I'm just playing it, however the case may be. I do really like having all 9 set out here so that if the defensive check comes up, even though it didn't in this first inning, once it comes up, I have the ratings right here in front of me. I don't have to scan over to the score sheet. I don't have to write those down, take the time to write those down on the score sheet pregame, and I don't have to go through a stack of cards to find it either. I guess the only thing that could be cumbersome is if I pinch hit for one of these guys, I'd have to pull them out of the sleeve and put somebody else in. But particularly for American League games, I don't think that would happen all that much. And then when it does, I don't think it'll be that much of a problem. But anyway, I just wanted to really do 2 things with this, and that one was talk about the randomness of the fast action cards and how I thought they held up very well to the dice randomness, and then also kind of just show this baseball card album plastic sheet as a way to present the cards during the game, a la the Hockey Blast line changes. So anyway, that's it from here. Just wanted to do a quick run through and see what anybody thought about it. And this would also work as well for replay baseball cards. They fit in perfectly. You could certainly use history maker cards here. The only ones that don't are the Stratomatic cards. They are not big enough to fit in. But in all honesty, the Stratomatic cards, half of the mystique of Stratomatic to me that brings back all the good memories is actually holding the cards in my hand. Don't have to have that with Payoff Pitch Baseball. That doesn't really, since it's so new, holding the cards in my hand doesn't really bring anything to me. I'm going straight for just the gameplay itself, whereas Stratomatic may have those little idiosyncrasies that go along with the game itself. But anyway, that's it from here. I hope everybody has a great day and enjoys whatever game you choose to play.